I'm working on this new smoker build, trying to get back to a real stick burning smoker rather than cooking on a pellet grill all the time. The problem I'm having is I have a spot in my new cooking setup in the shelter house. It would be perfect for this smoker to sit, but the trailer is a little bit too wide and the tongue's gonna hang out. The tongue hanging out at the end, I can deal with. It's the width. So I'm trying to decide if I should leave it on the trailer or take it off and put it on a stand. Last summer I was in Texas, and this is when I started building this, was last summer. I was trying to hustle and get it done so I could take it to Texas for an event. Luckily, somebody had a giant pellet smoker down there that we just used. So it worked out, and I pushed this off to the back burner until now. So I'm ready to get back to a real smoker. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take this thing and I'm gonna back it into the shelter house, and we're just gonna see how it fits. And hopefully I can just leave it on the trailer and make it work. So the other problem is, if we leave it on the trailer, the tires are too far forward. So our balance is really off. See, I can very, very easily tip it. So that's not gonna be good when you have a big bed full of hot coals here and it tips over easy. So we'll have to move this back bare minimum. So, but I'm gonna try to cross this bridge today, and I'll take you along for the ride. Yeah, eyeball it real quick. Whew. Maybe I'll squeak by that. And I rub it pretty hard. Yeah, that tire is off the concrete over here. And that was with just rubbing the tire on the post on this side. Get a little better look here. See, the tire basically had to brush right up against that post. And the other tire is right up against the concrete. So, but if I can, either extend the concrete out a couple feet or just bring it up most of the way with stone and then top it with mulch so it looks pretty. I'm probably okay if that tire is sitting off the concrete, as long as everything's level. Because the way it is now, we can't have that. I think we're just gonna go with that. I think I'm gonna leave it on the trailer. We'll fix the trailer up. So I'm gonna pull it back to the shop, and we'll put the final touches on this thing. All right, I think the level on it, we'll try to get this trailer all leveled up and probably put it on some blocks. But I want to get it level so that when I go to lay out the handles or cut the door on the back for the firebox, and when I set my framing for my racks inside, I can use a level and make sure everything is straight, and we're working off of a pre-level surface. So that's what we'll do first. I'm just gonna stick a block in here. Try to gently drop it. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Now we're cooking. I think the first thing we'll do today is go ahead and get a piece of plate steel cut and weld it on here and get the end of the firebox built. Then we'll cut a door in it and hinge it, and then the firebox will be pretty much done, other than filling in some of these holes where the old gauges and valves and stuff went. So I'm either going to cut them out and weld new pieces in them, or I'll just find some caps that'll screw into them to seal them up. Got the plate steel cut, 24 by 24, and I used my floor jack with a scrap piece of wood, pushed up tight against the bottom of this firebox barrel, and we'll use that as a platform to rest this on, so we're not trying to wrestle it around, hold it in place while I'm trying to weld it, because that sucks. So got a little platform built here, but we'll go ahead and weld it in place temporarily. We'll just tack weld it on the top and then the two sides. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to fire up the welder. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and figure out where this door is going to be. So we'll go ahead and mark our center point. Just figure out how big we want to make it now. Probably more than 12 inches. Maybe 14 inches wide. We can go ahead and mark it out here and just see how it looks. Okay. Now this is why we spent so much time leveling up the trailer and everything, because now I can use a level to lay this out and I know it's going to be pretty accurate. All right. There's one side of it. There's the other side. Now, something doesn't look right here. Did I? It's 5 inches. Oh man. Oh man, I forgot to burn an inch. So sometimes when you're figuring a measurement off of a mark like this, rather than try to, hold the end of the tape measure on there, that's not usually super accurate. So what you do is you'll burn an inch. So you'll hold 1 inch on your mark, on my center mark in this case, and you just add an inch to your measurement that you were looking for. So I marked it at 7. I need 7, but I actually need to mark it at 8. That's why it looked weird. So this line is incorrect. Okay, that's more like it. I'm gonna say 16 on the height. This 14 just looks a little too short. So I'm gonna go 16 because I like it. Okay, there we go. Oops. Always happens. All right, that's good. Okay, so that'll be the door. Looks good to me. Yeah, that's better. Good. So we have two almost identical hinge rods. So I'm going to slip them in some angle iron and then weld onto the door. So we're going to do that now. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this door out, but I have to do it kind of strategically because if we go ahead and just cut all of it, it's going to fall out and it's going to be impossible to get back in the same way. So I've already got all the hinge pieces made. I've got everything cleaned up and ready for the hinges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this first line on the hinge side of the door all the way down. Then we're going to stop and we're going to weld the hinges on. So that when I cut out the rest of this, the door just stays where it belongs. It doesn't shift, it doesn't fall out. I don't have to reposition it. It just stays right where it's supposed to be. So we're going to cut this one all the way down, weld on the hinges, and then we'll cut the rest of it. Stay nice and plumb with it. We'll go ahead and put our rods that we bent earlier. Pry that out a little bit. All right, there we go. Okay. Okay, so that's that. Now we just finished welding it in permanently, and we can cut the rest of the door out, and we'll have a hinged door. And there we go. But that's a door. But this is what I was talking about. So now there's no lip on the bottom. It's just straight shot right to the floor of the firebox. Can't talk. So now when we put our shovel in there, we can, scoop straight in. When we clean it out, we can scrape it straight out. So I like this door design better. But that's probably about all I'm going to do on it this weekend. Go ahead and subscribe and like this if you found any value in it or entertainment, whatever. Just do whatever you do. Do the YouTube stuff. So, anywho, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.